If you're a camper or a hiker, this is a fun and delicious way to bring some of your favorites along for the ride. Hello YouTubers and preppers, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Evita Cooks and Preps. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here because today I have another fun food prep project. I'm always looking for new ways to preserve food, and for me, dehydrating is usually the most practical. Today, I will show you how to preserve cooked chicken. Recently, I shared the recipe for the chicken filling that I use for the empanadillas, also known as empanadas, depending on where you come from. And I have some leftover chicken and figure it will be perfect to show you how to dehydrate the chicken. If you've not seen that video, I will share the link right up here. One of the things I like to do with my leftover meats, especially chicken, is dehydrate it because it is a very nice, tasty little treat. And this is what it looks like. Check it out. Looks exactly the same with all that vegetables and sauce. It's absolutely delicious. I like to snack on these, but the truth is that you can rehydrate them and basically use them to make empanadas later on. So that's actually one of the reasons why I like to make extra of my fillings so that I can dehydrate some, and that way if I don't have all the ingredients or the time to make the chicken filling, I can always go back to my dehydrated chicken empanada filling, rehydrate it, and make my empanadas. Here's another way that you can dehydrate the chicken. This one is actually an Italian flavored dehydrated chicken. There's different ways of doing that. I do the same with my picadillo recipe, and it's delicious. All you have to do is follow the instructions to rehydrate your picadillo or your chicken, and you're done. And basically you can use the picadillo or the dehydrated chicken the same way you would do it when you make it fresh at home. So if you've not tried dehydrating your picadillos or your fillings this way, I encourage you to do that. In just a little bit, I'm gonna prepare my trays to dehydrate this chicken. And I'm also going to open this little can right here so you can see what it looks like. And if you would like me to share more of this fun content and food prep ideas, go ahead and leave it in the comments below the video. Give me a thumbs up, share the video, and comment for the YouTube algorithms. And don't forget to activate the notification bell to be notified when I upload more simple and delicious video recipes like this one. Dehydrating the chicken is very easy if you have a dehydrator at home. I'm going to be using my Excalibur dehydrator. I always dehydrate whether it's meat, vegetables, or fruit. To me, my preferred temperature is 115 degrees. It does take a little bit longer, but I find that I get a better quality product. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that when you dehydrate chicken, it might not be a bad idea to freeze the chicken before dehydrating it. You don't have to do that. As you can see, I'm not going to be freezing mine because I have to get this going in the dehydrator, but it does turn out to be a lot better when you freeze it prior to dehydrating it. Now, what I'm going to be using to dehydrate the chicken, there's different options. You can use parchment paper over the top of the sheets of the dehydrator. You can use these silicone mats if you have them available. They are a little bit pricey. And I tend to use these more when I'm dehydrating eggs or dairy products or any wet ingredients. But you can also find these inexpensive liners, and in just a little second you're going to see why they're not my favorite. Check it out. These have been used extensively, and depending on what you're dehydrating, they tend to stain the sheets. It doesn't matter how well you clean them. You can dip them in some soapy warm water with a little bit of bleach. They're still not going to be perfect, but even though they look dirty, they are clean. So that's one of the reasons why they're not my personal favorite. Today I'm going to be using both. I'm going to be using these liners, and I'm also going to be dehydrating in these silicone pads just so that you can see what it looks like. This is a pretty easy and fun project, and because I'm dehydrating the chicken that is cooked in a sauce, I'm going to use these sheets today. If I want to load up my dehydrator to dehydrate the chicken filling, I will probably have to make 4 times the recipe to get all my trays filled up to capacity. But today I'm going to just be dehydrating what I have left over after making the empanadas. I don't grease my sheets because these are non-stick. This is a perfect way to preserve and, you know, put up in your emergency food storage some of your leftover meats. The meat's already cooked, so it's perfect for dehydrating, okay? Now, you want to spread it thinly as possible. That's going to help the dehydrating process. You definitely want to take your time spreading it on your sheets so we can get a more even dehydration. But again, you do whatever works for you. This is the way I like to do it, okay? You can do the same with beef, pork, turkey. The smaller the pieces, the quicker it's going to dehydrate. Remember, when we dehydrate food, they become a little bit brittle. And chicken is one of those things that becomes very brittle. Oh my goodness, I have to tell you, one of the ways that I like to eat my chicken is as a snack. They're so delicious. And I prefer to snack on dehydrated chicken over potato chips any day. And this chicken filling is so flavorful that you're really gonna enjoy it as a snack, I guarantee that. Okay, so when I make it, I have to make enough because my husband and the boys like to go in the pantry and help themselves to what they call chicken chips. And believe me, the chicken is so flavorful that when you taste them dehydrated, you want to go back for more. So go ahead and check out that recipe and you'll find the recipe in the channel. When I spread the chicken on the sheets, I like to leave a little bit of an edge just in case for the juices of the sauce, especially because the chicken is not frozen. And that's actually one of the reasons why I like to freeze the chicken before dehydrating it. But it's not a must, okay? My goodness, working with this chicken right now is making me very hungry and it's making me crave empanadas. I'm going to continue filling my trays, and when I come back I'm going to show you what the dehydrated chicken looks like. We're also going to open that jar that I made previously so that you can see what it looks like, and of course we're going to try them. Okay, the chicken took about 10 hours to dehydrate at 115 degrees. That is my preferred temperature, but if you want to speed up the process, you can go as high as 125. Some people use it at 135. For me, the ideal temperature is 115 degrees for almost everything. There's very few things that I dehydrate at a higher temperature. Meats are definitely not one of them, especially because they're pre-cooked. And before you vacuum seal it, two things have to happen. Number one, you have to check to make sure the chicken is completely dry, and two, you want to make sure it's nice and cool. If you add the chicken to the jars while it's still warm, that's going to form condensation in your jars, and obviously it's going to ruin your chicken, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to run my fingers through the chicken to make sure it's all dry, allow it to cool, and then we're going to put it into jars and vacuum seal it. Okay, these projects I like to vacuum seal into the smaller size jars because usually you don't use a lot of it, and like I had mentioned earlier, my boys and my husband love to snack on it. If you're doing this to gift it to people or to give it away, you may want to just use gloves, but since I'm doing this for my boys, they really don't mind me using my hands for as long as I feed them. So that's about right. I always like to leave at least 1 inch headspace. I think that's for the most part the rule of thumb. And check it out. You can see all that delicious chicken. I can honestly see some of the peppers and the cilantro. Smells amazing. This is a fun project, and it's also a good way to save your leftover meats if you don't feel like freezing them or you don't have any space in the refrigerator or the freezer. This is a fun way to save your meats. And again, it makes the perfect snack. check it out. And it's perfectly sealed. Okay, I have one here that I made last week. Okay, I'm gonna open it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, and check it out. Look at that. It's nice and crispy and brittle. Let's see if you can hear that. It's nice and crispy. You can turn this into chicken powder if you want. Use it in your soups and stews just to, you know, flavor, so you can get that chicken flavor. You can also use it to make chicken stock in a pinch if you don't have any chicken stock or chicken bouillon. You could definitely grind this up and use it in its place, and it's absolutely delicious. You can crush it very easily. Basically, that's just one more idea and one more way that you can, you know, put all your preps to work. And obviously, if you have leftover chicken, beef, or whatever the case may be, this is a good way of repurposing it so that it doesn't go to waste, and most importantly, so that you can put it up on your food preps. I hope you like this idea. I'm gonna continue working with the rest of the chicken. I hope you give this recipe a try. For more prepper ideas, consider subscribing to the channel, like, share, and comment for the YouTube algorithms, and activate the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Until next time, I'm Evita, Cooks and Preps. Bon appetit. Guys, you really have to try it. Delicious.